students, welcome to our grade 7 maths lesson. So today our lesson is unit 10 in your textbook, that is fractions. So what is a fraction? Fraction is a part of a whole. Now for example, let's take, you have a round shaped figure like this. Let's take that it is a cake. So this cake is divided into 4 equal pieces. Assume that this cake is divided into 4 equal pieces. And you are going to take only one piece out of that 4. So I am going to show you how it is denoted like this. Right, I am going to share one part out of that 4. So this is where we can apply fractions. So we altogether have 4 parts. So that is here, altogether we have 4 parts. Out of that you are going to take only one part. So how can we express that? So 1 is written like this and you have to draw a line like this. So this is what a fraction is. Right? So you have altogether 4 parts. Out of that whole thing you are going to represent only one part. So that is what the definition says. A fraction is a part of a whole. Now there are 2 terms that you should keep it in your mind. The number above the line and the number below the line is given a specific term. So the number above the line, is called as, okay, let's see the same question in the other method, that is method 2. So our improper fraction is 7 over 4. So let's see the other method, that is actually division method. So we are going to divide 7 by 4. We know that 4 times 1 is 4. So here the remainder is 3. How we can express this? Now our fraction is 7 over 4. Right? When you are converting this into a mixed number, right? When you are converting this into a mixed number, this quotient, which we call as the quotient, that is the whole number part. So that quotient will come as the whole number like this, and this 3, the remainder, will come to the numerator, and this divided number, right, that will remain as the denominator. So denominator won't change, denominator will always remain same, and this quotient will become the whole number, and this remainder goes as the numerator. So that is the way of converting an improper fraction into a mixed number. So I have done both methods. You all can select the easy method. So division method is a little bit easy, and it's also easy. So let's look at another example and do the same methods and see. Right, our second example is 13 over 5, another improper fraction that we are going to convert it into a mixed number. So we will do it in the first method and see. So when you are converting, as in the first method, right, 13 over 5 is our fraction, right? So in here, the denominator value is 5. So as I told, that the numerator, that is 13 should be expressed in terms of the denominator. That means how many 5s are inside 13? 2 5s are there. Other than that, what is the remainder? 3. So 5, you know, 5 plus 5, 10, and there's another 3 remaining, and denominator will remain same, that is 5. So what we are going to do next is we are going to separate these fractions like this. 5 over 5 taken separately, this 5 over 5 taken separately, and then this 3 over 5 is taken separately. So let's see the answers. Right. So here you have, once we take 5 over 5 plus 5 over 5 and 3 over 5. So all the 3 fractions are taken separately. So let's see the answer. 5 over 5, the answer is number 1. 5 over 5 answer is number 1, and then you have 3 over 5, that is a fraction. So we know 1 plus 1 answer is number 2. So that will become the whole number, and then you have 3 over 5. So this is the final answer. Whole number is 2 and the fraction is 3 over 5. So let's see the same example in the second method, that is division method. So we are going to divide. So our question is 13 over 5. So let's see the answer. We are going to divide 13 by 5. So 2 5s are there. 5 times 2, answer is 10. Remainder 3. So what we learned is that this quotient will become the whole number and denominator will remain same, and then this remainder will goes to the numerator. So you all can see the same answer is obtained in both methods, method 1 and method 2. So actually that is the way of converting an improper fraction into a mixed number. Right. Next we are moving to our next topic, that is comparison of fractions. That means we are going to compare two fractions. How can we compare two fractions? Now comparison is done in different topics. So our first topic is comparison of fractions having the same numerator. How can we compare two fractions if you have the same numerator? Now you all can see in this example I have taken, in this type I have taken 3 examples. The first example, you all can see you have the same denominator, 5, 5, 10, 10, 100, 100, but the numerator values are different. So you know that if I am to represent it or to explain it diagrammatically, see this. Right. Think that you have a rectangular portion like this, and I am going to divide into 5 equal parts like this. 5 equal parts. Again I am going to take another rectangular portion like this and divide it into 5 equal parts like this. And in the first one I am going to shade only 2 parts, and in the second figure I am going to shade 4 regions like this. Now by looking at this diagram, it is clear for you all which part is large. First figure or the second figure? Second figure is large. Okay. So here this fraction is large. So what we can summarize from this is always, if you have a larger numerator. Now you all know that if the denominator is same, only this condition is applied. If the denominators are same, look at the two numerator values. If the numerator is large, then that number, that fraction will become the larger fraction. Second example, we know 6 and 3, which is large. 6 is large, so this fraction will be the larger fraction. Third example, we have 50, 85. No need to worry about the denominator since they are the same. So 85 is large, therefore this fraction is the larger fraction. I think you know this symbol, greater than less than symbol, always this shape will open up to the larger side like this. Okay, so next move to our next type, that is we are going to compare two fractions when you have the same numerator. In the previous one the denominator was same. Now here you are having the same numerator. Numerator means this number. Now you all can see denominators are different. Denominators are different. But when you look at the numerators, all are same. So let's see how we can compare these two fractions in this type. So in this one also I am going to represent it diagrammatically for you all to understand it more clearly. So if I am to draw this, right, if I am to draw this, let's think that you have a rectangular portion like this. Sorry. Right, let's think you have a rectangular portion like this and it is divided into 2 equal parts. I'm going to express 1 over 2 and I'm going to shade only one part. Okay, and then the second fraction, that is 1 over 3. The same rectangular portion is taken and I'm going to divide into 3 equal parts. Assume that it is equal and then I'm going to color only one part. Now you all can see by looking at the diagram what figure is having a larger shaded portion. The first figure, that is half. When it is divided into 2 parts and you are going to take one, you have a larger portion, right? So this fraction is large. Second example, 3 over 6 and 3 over 4. So if I am to express it in a diagram, so I am going to divide this into 6 equal parts. assume that all 6 are equal, and then I'm going to shade 3 regions, 3 over 6. Second fraction which we are going to compare, that is 3 over 4. In here I'm going to divide it into 4 equal parts. Right, actually they are not equal, but you have to assume that they are equal. So I'm going to shade 3 parts. So by looking at the diagram, you all can see the second figure is having a larger shaded region than the first figure. So what is the larger fraction? 3 over 4 will become the larger fraction. Now if you are going to draw the diagrams like this and compare, you will take a lot of time. So no need to draw the diagrams actually. There is an easy method of finding it. That is, just look at the denominator value. Now since the numerators are the same, you don't want to look at the numerators. What about the denominator? Now denominator, you all can see a smaller value is there, larger value is there. Smaller value, larger value. So always the fraction with the smaller denominator is the greater fraction. The fraction with the smaller denominator will become the larger fraction. The fraction with the smaller denominator, 6 is large, 4 is small. So always the smaller denominator will become the larger fraction. Third one, now I'm going to do this without drawing the diagram. So as I told, 2, 2, 5, which is small, 2. So which fraction will become large? This fraction. So that is a very easy way of finding or how to compare two fractions when you have the same numerator. Right, let's move to the next type of comparison, that is when you have unequal numerators and denominators. Now in the previous two types you had the equal numerators and you had the equal denominators, but in here both the numerators and denominators are different to each other, they are unequal. So here what you have to do? So I think you can remember when we are doing types of fractions, I explained about equivalent fractions, how to make equivalent fractions. So that condition is applied here. We are going to make equivalent fractions and then compare the fraction. Since the fractions are different, we can't identify them which is large and which is small. Therefore, we are going to find equivalent fractions and then do the comparison. So let's see how we can do this. Now here the denominator 1 over 2 and 2 over 4 are the fractions. Now here the denominator is 2, here the denominator is 4. Now you have to think of a way to make these two denominators equal. That is what we did. How can we make them equal? So it's easy for us to make this number 2 into number 4. Okay, it's easy for us to convert this number 2 into number 4. How can we convert? Right. I'm going to convert it like this. As I told, when you are finding equivalent fractions, you have to multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number. So I'm going to multiply this by 2, because in order to obtain 4, you should multiply 2 by 2. So let's multiply, right? Okay, 2 times 1 answer is 2, 2 times 2 answer is 4. Here I didn't do any change because it is already having the denominator 4. Now here also we got the same denominator, which is large. You all can see both the answers are having same numerators and denominators, which means they are equal to each other. We can't compare actually. Since both are equal, I can put the equal symbol. Right. Let's look at the second example. Second example, here I have taken 3 over 4 and 2 over 3. So here you all can see the denominators are 4 and 3. So you have to go for the LCM. Here also the LCM is 4. So when you are considering 4 and 3, what is the 4 and 3? What is the LCM? What is the common number which we can make? That is number 12. So our fraction is 3 over 4 and here 2 over 3. Now we are going to multiply, right, these two fractions separately in order to get a common denominator. That means we are going to multiply this by 3. Once you multiply it by 3 only, you will get number 12. You will get number 12 in the denominator. You have to do the same thing for the numerator as well. 3 times 3, 9. You have to do the same thing for the other side, but the number that you are going to multiply will be different. 3 times how much will give you 12? 3 times 4. So you have to multiply the numerator also by 4. 2 times 4 answer is 8. 3 times 4 answer is 12. So now you all can see both the numerators are same and both the denominators are same, numerators are different. So which is the larger numerator? 9. 9 over 12 is large. That means this fraction is large. Okay. Right. So that is what we did. The comparison of fractions having unequal denominators. You have to make them into equivalent fractions having a common denominator. So after that you can compare the two fractions. Now we are moving to comparison of mixed numbers. Previous one we did only two fractions. There were no mixed numbers. But in here you have two mixed numbers. By looking at the two mixed numbers you are going to compare which mixed number is large. So in this, first we are going to discuss when the two mixed numbers are having unequal whole number parts. Unequal whole number parts. Unequal whole number parts means, right, unequal whole number parts. Unequal whole number parts means, now you all can see in the first example I have given 2 and here I have given 5. So by looking at those two whole numbers we can decide which mixed number is large. We don't want to worry about the fraction part. We don't want to check what the fraction part is. By looking at the whole number we can directly decide whether 2 or 5 is large. 5 is large. So what will happen? This fraction, this mixed number will be the larger mixed number when compared with the other. Okay, next, the second example, same condition, no need to worry about the two denominators, the two fractions, but here when you consider the whole numbers 7, 3, which is large. 7 is large. So this symbol opens up to this side, which is the larger side. Third example, same thing. No need to worry about the two fractions. Here you have the whole number 4 and 9, which is large. 9 is large. So this is the larger mixed number. So that is the way of comparing mixed numbers when you have unequal whole numbers like this. So let's see how we can compare two mixed numbers when you have equal whole numbers. Earlier one was different, now we have equal whole numbers. So look at the example given. Here both the mixed numbers are having, here both the mixed numbers are having the same whole number, number 2. So let's see how we can compare these two whole numbers. So in this case, since both the whole numbers are same, we have to definitely check the fraction part. By checking the fraction part only we can decide which is large and which is small. So I'm going to rewrite the two fractions again, that is 1 over 4 and 2 over 3. So here we need to now, since the numerator whole numbers are remaining same, we have to consider the fraction part. The fraction part means 1 over 4 and 2 over 3. Right? They are different. So we know that how to convert these different or unequal numerator and denominator values into an equivalent fraction. So let's convert. Now you have to remain this number 2 as it is, and then we are going to convert this 1 over 4 and 2 over 3 into an equivalent fraction. So what is the common denominator which we can make? Number 12. So in order to make it into 12, you can multiply 4 by 3 and 1 also by 3. So we know that here 4 times 3 answer is 12, 1 times 3 answer is 3. And in order to make this 12, we have to multiply this by 4. This also by 4. So 4 times 2 you have 8 and here 12. Now which is large? Which is large? Now both the denominators are having the same denominator, so same values. Therefore it is easy for us to compare. So what you have to do is you have to look at the larger numerator value. So if the numerator is large, then that fraction or that mixed number will become the larger mixed number. So this part is the large. So 8 over 12 is belonging to this mixed number, which means this mixed number is large when compared with the other mixed number. Okay. Now we are moving to the second method. Now this is the first method. You all can do the calculations in the easiest method. You all can look at both methods, but you have to decide what is the method that you are going to do calculations. Okay, second method. When you are doing second method, you are going to convert the mixed numbers. That means you have mixed numbers 1 over 4 and 2 over 3. You are going to compare these mixed numbers into improper fractions. How can we compare them into improper fractions? Right, so let's multiply. I think you can remember the shortest method which we did, right? We multiplied it like this and then added the value. Hope you can remember. We multiplied this and added the value. So 4 times 2 answer is 8. 8 plus 1 answer is 9. 4 remains same. Then 3 times 2 answer is 6. 6 plus 2 answer is 8. Right, now you have two improper fractions like this. After that, what's the next step? Next step is to make an equivalent fraction. That means common denominator, finding an LCM. Okay, so let's make the denominator common. How can we make the denominator common? We have to decide the number. What is the common number which we can make? It is easy for us to make it 12. How can we convert it into 12? 4 times 3 will give you 12. 3 times 4 will give you 12. And here also by 3, here also by 4. So once we multiply 9 times 3 answer is 36. Sorry, it's 27. And next is 27 over 12. And 8 times 4, 32 and 12. Okay, so what's a large fraction? What's a large improper fraction? This is the large improper fraction. So as we did in the previous method, you all can see what is the large fraction or large mixed number by comparing with another. So these are the two methods which we can do. So select the easiest method. Either to convert it into improper form. Now when you convert it into improper form, you might get somewhat large numbers. That means when you are multiplying, you will get some large numbers. But in here, you are going to remain the fraction, the whole number part separately and then take the fraction part out and you are going to make the common denominators. Okay? Right. Okay, next we are moving to our next part, that is addition and subtraction of fractions. How to add and subtract fractions. So first step, we are going to add and subtract fractions when you have the same denominator. Now you all can see I have taken 5 examples here. All the examples are having the same denominator. Denominators remain same. You all can see 7, 7, 24, 24, 12, 12, 8, 8. Only the numerators are changed. So when you have equal denominators, how can we add or how we can subtract fractions? It is easy. So this is the way of doing. Right? So if always you have equal denominators, you have to add the numerators. If you have equal denominators, you can add the two numerators. That means you can add 1 plus 3. Denominator is same, that is 7. Denominator is same, that is number 7. Okay. So 1 plus 3 answer is 4. 4 over 7 is the final answer when we add these two fractions. Second example, again the same denominator, therefore we can add the two numerators. 15 plus 3. Now it's not compulsory for you all to show this step. Directly you all can add and put the final answer like this as well. 15 plus 3 you already know, that is 18. 18 over 24. Okay, now in this step there's something that should be mentioned. Now we all know when we are simplifying fractions, we need to keep the answer in the simplest form. When we are adding or when we are subtracting, always the final answer. Now this is the final answer we got. Always the final answer should remain in the simplest form. So how can we keep the answer in the simplest form? Always you have to check whether we can divide this numerator and denominator by some more numbers, some common number. Can we divide? Yes, we can divide. 18 can be divisible by, let's see, y'all can, now if you can't decide the direct number, y'all can go with it stepwise, right? So if you are going to divide, now y'all can divide this by 6. Now I can see both 18 and 24 are multiples of 6. Therefore you can divide both the numerator and denominator by the same number. If you can't find out this number directly, you all can do it in starting from the small numbers. Okay, 18 divided by 6, answer is 3. 24 divided by 6, answer is 4. So can we divide it more? No, that will be the final answer. In the previous one also we can't divide it more. That will remain the same. So that will be the final answer. If you have a fraction like this only, you have to convert it into the simplest form. Okay, let's move to the next example. That is 12. So that is subtraction. So 7 minus 3. What is the answer? 7 minus 3 over 12. 7 minus 3 answer is 4. So 4 over 12. Now here also you all can see this is not the simplest form. We can divide it further. What is the number which we can divide? We can divide both 4 and 12 by 3. So I am going to divide both the numbers by 4. Right. So let's divide. I am going to divide both the numbers by 4. So let's divide. 4 divided by 4 answer is 1 and 12 divided by 4 answer is 3. So this is the simplest form. We can't divide it more. And let's move to the last example, subtraction again. So I'm going to put the direct answer. 15 minus 5 answer is 10. 15 minus 5 answer is 10. Denominator is 8. Now what about this fraction? Is it proper or improper? It is an improper fraction. At the same time, I can divide it more. I can divide both 10 and 8 by 2. I can see both are multiples of 2. We can't go for a number larger than that. So I'm going to select number 2. So I'm going to divide these two numbers by number 2. So 10 divided by 2 answer is 5. 8 divided by 2 answer is 4. Okay, look at the fraction obtained. Is it a proper fraction or an improper fraction? The second thing that you have to keep it in your mind is when you are simplifying fractions, always the final answer should be in the simplest form. At the same time, it should be in the proper form. Now, in the previous sums, we all got a proper fraction. But in here, although we simplified it into the simplest form, we got an improper fraction. So you can't remain the improper fraction like that. You have to convert the improper fraction into a proper fraction. So I hope you can remember how we converted an improper fraction into a proper fraction. So you can use any method, method 1 or method 2. Using division method, it will be easy for you all. So I know that 4 times 1 answer is 4. 4 plus 1 will give you 5. You all can use division method and check whether this answer. So you all can recheck your answer. 4 times 1, 4. 4 plus 1, 5. You will get the improper fraction. So that is the way of adding and subtracting fractions when you have the same denominator. So let's see how we can add and subtract fractions when you have different denominators or unequal denominators. Okay, when you have unequal denominators. In the previous one you had equal denominators, but here we have unequal denominators. Okay, so when you have unequal denominators, you have to make the denominator common. Like in the previous addition examples, it was easy for us to add the fractions when you have the same denominator. That means these two numbers. But if it is different, you should make it into an equal number, which means LCM or common number, or you call it making equivalence. How can we make equivalent fractions? Right. So we already know to convert or how to make equivalent fractions for a certain fraction given. So let's do it. We have 3 over 2 plus 4 over 6. So what is the what is the LCM? It's easy for us to make it into 6. This is already 6. It's easy for us to make 2 also into 3. How can we make 2 into 6? How can we make 2 into 6? So we can multiply it by 3. You know that 3 times 2 answer will be 6. Therefore, you have to multiply the numerator also by the same number. So once you multiply, 3 times 3 answer is 9. 3 times 2 answer is 6. Are we going to do any change for the second fraction? No. No need to do any change here because you already have the denominator number 6. Here also we got the number 6. So now it is easy for us to add the two numerators. Since the denominators are same, we can add the two numerators. 9 plus 4 answer is 13 over 6. Is it a proper answer? You have to check it. No, it's not a proper answer. So it is an improper answer. So you should know that you have to convert this improper fraction into a mixed fraction. Right? Again, I'm going to remind you what are the points that you should keep it in your mind. When you are converting a fraction or when you are simplifying a fraction, in the last answer, it should be a proper fraction and also it should be in the simplest form. And the next point is, if it is an improper fraction, always you have to convert it into a mixed number. Always you have to check whether all three conditions are satisfied when you are obtaining a final answer. Right? When you are converting this, we know that 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 1 will give you 13. You can recheck. 6 times 2, 12. 12 plus 1, 13. That's an easy method of checking your answer. Right, again I'm going to take another example here. And what is the common denominator which we can make? Both 2 and 3. You have to take both 2 and 3. Consider both 2 and 3 and make them into an equal denominator. So what's the number that you are going to select? Right, I'm going to take, now here we have half and here we have 1 over 3, and I'm going to select what is the number which we can make. It is easy for us to make it into 6. Right, so how can we make this 6? You have to multiply this by 3, numerator also by 3, and we can make 3 by multiplying it 2. So what is the answer? 3 times 1, here the answer is 3. 3 times 2, answer 6, plus 1 times 2, 2. 3 times 2, 6. Now we all can see the denominators are same and we can add the numerators. So the answer will be 5 over 6. Now tell me whether it's a proper fraction or an improper fraction. Yes, it's a proper fraction. And is it in the simplest form? Yes, we have to check whether all three conditions are satisfied. Is it a proper fraction? Yes. Is it in the simplest form? Yes. If it is improper only, we have to convert it into a mixed number. Okay. have, the previous one is with addition, now here I have taken subtraction. Okay, so here also the same condition is applied. If the denominators are not common, you have to make equivalent denominators and then add or subtract. So let's do it. Right, so here we have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 6. Right, so I'm going to make an equivalent fraction here. So you have to make, you can make this into 6 by multiplying by 3. So we know that 3 times 1 answer is 3, 3 times 2 answer is 6, minus here 1 over 6. I didn't do any change with this fraction, I changed only this and make this denominator equal to number 6. Now we know that the denominators are same, so we can subtract the numerators. Always please check the symbol, it is not addition, it is subtraction. So let's subtract 3 minus 1, now denominator is 6. So you can subtract the numerators. 3 minus 1 answer is 2. So here the final answer is 2 over 6. Now please check, is this the simplest form? No, it is not the simplest form. You can simplify it more. How can we simplify it? Yes, I can simplify this by dividing 2. Both numerator and denominators are divisible by 2. 2 divided by 2 answer is number 1. 6 divided by 2 answer is number 3. So this is the simplest answer and it is a proper fraction. Right, let's move to the second example. That is, there you have the denominators are a little bit large values, that is 12 and 20. Okay, that is 12 and 20. So how can we make the denominators common? What is a common number which we can make? Yes, that is number 60. So yes, it's a little bit large, but you have to get the LCM and then decide what's a common number which you can make from the two denominators. So I'm going to take, that is 5 over 12 minus 1 over 20. Now I'm going to make the denominator into 60. Now you have to decide by which number you are going to multiply both the fractions. So I'm going to multiply 12 multiplied by 5 will give you 60, and here this should also be multiplied by the same number, and 20 should be multiplied by 3 in order to make it into 60, and also this should be multiplied by the same number. So what's the answer obtained? Right, here the answer obtained is 5 times 5 25, 12 times 5 answer is 60, it is minus subtraction, 1 times 3 answer is 3, and here 60. Now you all can see the denominators are same, therefore you can subtract the numerators. So let's subtract 25. I'm going to subtract it directly without writing this step. 25 minus 3, what's the answer? 22. So is this the simplest form? Can't we divide it more? Yes, we can divide it. It's a proper fraction, that's correct, but it is not the simplest form. We can divide it more. How we can divide it? Yes, how we can divide it? We can divide this by 2. 22 divided by 2 answer is. We can divide this by 2. This can also be divided by 2. 20 divided by 2 answer is 11. 60 divided by 2 answer is 30. Is this the simplest answer? Yes, that is the simplest form. We can't divide it further. So that will become the final answer. Right, now we are moving to the addition and subtraction of mixed numbers. Earlier we deal with only normal fractions, proper fractions, and now here we are going to work out with the mixed numbers. So as we did in the previous topics, so here a mixed number, now when you are adding, there are two different methods. So I'm going to show you both methods. You all can decide the easiest method. So when you are adding, the first method is, you all can take this whole number parts separately. Take this whole number parts separately, right? 2 and 3. Now you all can see this 5 fraction part, the denominator remains same. So take the two whole numbers out, 2 and 3. You are going to add the two fractions, the two whole numbers, 2 and 3. Answer is 5. 2 and 3 answer is 5. And then you are going to add the fraction parts separately. Here the fraction remaining is 4 over 5. Here the fraction remaining is 2 over 5. Then we are going to simplify this part separately and this part separately. So denominator is same like we did earlier. Denominator is same. So we can add 4 plus 2 answer is 4 plus 2 answer is 6. So here our fraction is 5, 6, 5. So this is the answer we got. So you have to, again I am repeating, you have to add the two whole numbers. 2 plus 3 answer is 5. Take the two fractions separately, 4, 2 and 5 here. So since the denominators are same, you can add the numerators and the fraction is this. Right. Second method, how we can do it in the second method? So in the second method, you are going to convert these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So I am going to do it now. Right. Second method, now here the fraction is 4 over 5 plus 3, 2 over 5. Now when you are adding this, right, you are going to convert this into an improper fraction. So I think you can remember how we converted it into an improper fraction. So 5 times 2, 10. 10 plus 4, 14 over 5. And next 5 times 3, 15. 15 plus 2, answer is 17 over 5. You all can see the denominator is same, therefore you can add the numerators. So here the answer is 5. Here you all have 31 over 5 as the answer. So is this the final answer? You have to check whether all three conditions are satisfied. Is it a proper fraction? No, actually it's not a proper fraction, it's an improper fraction. So you all know if the answer is an improper fraction, you have to convert it into a mixed number. How can we convert it into a mixed number? So we all know that we can convert it into a mixed number. 5 times 6, we know it is 30. 30 plus 1 will give you 31. So actually you all can use the division method or the other method. But here I have obtained the answer directly. But you can recheck your answer. 5 times 6, 30. 30 plus 1, 31. So you all can see the answer is obtained like that. So that is the way of doing addition with mixed numbers. So let's go to another example. I'm going to take a subtraction one. So here you all can see you can perform this using the same method. You are going to take the whole number part separately. You all can take the whole number part separately. 9 minus 5. What's the answer? 9 minus 5. 9 minus 5 answer is 9 minus 5 answer is 4. And then you can take the fraction separately. The fraction part is you have 1 over 2, right? You have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. As did in the previous example, you have to make the denominator common. In method 1, we did it like that. You have to make the denominator common if it is not equal. In the previous example, the denominator was equal. It was always 5. But here you all can see the denominators are different. If the denominators are different, you have to make it equal by making an equivalent fraction. That means you can multiply this by 2. This is also by 2. So you can make it into 4. Right? So in that manner, you all can do it. So here, I'm going to get 2 over 4 minus 1 over 4. So that is a fraction part. I have already simplified the whole number part and obtained number 4 as the answer. So here now you all can see the denominator is same. So let's subtract two numerators. 2 minus 1. Answer is 1 and denominator is 4. So this is the way of doing using the first method. Second method, let's say as I did in the previous one, you all can convert this into an improper fraction. You can convert these mixed numbers into an improper fraction. So let's see how we can convert this into an improper fraction. Right, let's convert. So I'm going to rewrite the question again. Here fraction we have 9 1 over 2 minus 5 1 over 4. So let's multiply. Multiply means we are going to convert it into improper. So that means you have to multiply and then add. 9 2 times 9 18. 18 plus 1 19 over 2 minus 5 times 4 answer is 20. 20 plus 1 answer is 21. 21 over 4. Now you all can see the denominator is not common. How can we make the denominator common? You have to make an equivalent fraction. So I am going to select the number that is, it is easy for us to make this fraction denominator into 4 like this. So I am going to, in order to make it 4, I have to multiply by 2. So let's multiply it by 2 and see what will happen. Right. So once we multiply, so 2 times 2 answer is 4 and 19 times 2 answer is 19 times 2 answer is 2 times 9, 18, 1 remaining and 38. Okay, then we have here, we didn't do any change here, so it will remain same, right? And then, now this is little bit long than this method, so you all can decide the easy method in this. And next step, now we have obtained the common denominator. So then you can subtract the two numerators. Right. So 38 minus 21. 8 minus 1 answer is 7. 3 minus 2 answer is 1. So 17 and here 4. Now is this a final answer? No, it's not the final answer. You have to convert it into a mixed number. Since it is an improper, you have to convert it into a mixed number. So you can convert it into improper as we know that 4 times 4 is 16. 16 plus 1 will give you 17. So I am doing it in the simplest way that I can do without going to divide or the other method. So you all can also do it in that method. You can recheck your answer. 4 times 4 16. 16 plus 1 17. So that's the way. Now you all can see in the example in method 1 and method 2 you have obtained the same answer. So you all can decide the easy method that you like. Here again if I am to revise, here you did the whole number part separately and then added the fraction part or subtract the fraction part. And here you have converted the mixed numbers into improper fractions and then make the denominators common. And then if it is addition you added, if it is subtraction you subtracted. And then finally you have to check whether it's proper or in the simplest form. If it is improper you have to convert it into mixed. So those are the things in subtraction of mixed numbers. Right, I have another example, so let's try it out also. So I'm going to perform both methods. So let's see. So here I'm going to take the whole number part separately. 2 minus 1 answer, take it. 2 minus 1 answer is 1 and then take the fraction part separately, that is 2 over 3 minus 1 over 2. Right? So here you all can see the denominators are not common, therefore you have to make the denominators common. So let's multiply. It's easy for me to multiply this by 2 and make 6, and it's easy for me to multiply this by 3 and make it 6, the denominator 6. So here the denominator will be 6, 2 times 2 4 minus 1 times 3 3, 2 times 3 is 6, right? So here you all can see, right, here 2 minus 1 answer is 1. So now the denominators are common. So let's subtract. 4 minus 3 answer is 1 and denominator 6. So this is the way. Even if you do it in the second method also, you will get the same answer. So in second method, I hope you can remember, we converted into improper first. So let's convert it into improper. Now I am going to directly convert it into improper by looking at this first example. 3 times 2, 6. 6 plus 2 answer is 8. Right, I have converted into improper from here. 3 times 2, 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Subtract, minus 2 times 1 answer is 2. 2 plus 1 answer is 3. 3 over 2. So you can see the denominators are not common. So you have to make it common. So it's easy for me to make this 6, right? So 3 times 2, you will get 6, and 2 times 3 will give you 6. So let's multiply and see the answer, right? So here you have the denominator 6. 8 times 2, 16, minus 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3, 9. So you all can see the denominators are same. So right, let's subtract. So 16 minus 9, you should get the answer. So once you get the answer, you will have 7 and 6. Okay, 7 and 6. Right. So finally, you have to check whether it's a proper or improper. If it's improper, you should know that you have to convert it into a mixed number. So it's improper, therefore you have to convert it into a mixed number. So you recheck your answer. 6 times 1, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. So that's how the addition and subtraction of fractions are. So actually that's the end of our lesson, fractions. So in here we learned a lot. That is from the beginning we learned what a fraction is and what are the types of fractions, and then we compared fractions, comparison of fractions under different topics. So then we add and subtract fractions. We have fractions having the same denominator. If it is a different denominator, we have to make the equivalence, and then finally we did addition and subtraction of mixed numbers also. So if you have mixed numbers, I did it in different 2 ways. So you all have to go through both methods and understand the easiest method for you. So you have to do the rest of the calculations given in your worksheets, maybe the textbook, according to the easy method that you select. So I hope you all got this lesson clear, and thank you very much. Let's meet with another lesson on a new video. Thank you.